Thing is, both the candidates didn't appear for obvious reasons that they have stated. Do you think it was still necessary for them to have appeared at the debate?
Thank you for that question. But I would just feel that where there is no rule, there is no crime. Constitutionally, it's not in our constitution to have or to mandate presidential candidates or aspirants that they must debate. But of course, there's an opportunity to sell your policies. So I believe that as an incumbent president, if he decides not to come for a debate, he has his own point, not to come for a debate. But the presidential aspirants or candidates of the PDP getting there, saying that because he didn't see a particular candidate, he's not going to debate, it means that what the antecedents that I'm trying to interpret that to be is that he really wants a personality tussle with President Muhammadu Buhari, not really selling out his policies.
Isn't he entitled to what he wants?
He's entitled to what he wants, but I think it's
At least the Constitution grants him that.
But I think the nation that we have here is that we have about 70 presidential aspirants. So is he saying that if it's not Buhari, he's not going to debate anybody?
I'll come back to you, but let me just get your own take. I mean, so they're saying that, the fact that the former vice president even came to the venue, that's one point. But the fact that he left because his main rival wasn't at the venue, they feel, I mean, for someone like Sheun, feels like it wasn't respectful enough for Nigerians.
Well, I think Sheun is saying that is disrespectful to Nigerians, and his opinions are valid, right? I'm not gonna deny him that he has a constitutional right to have opinions like that.
The Constitution seems to be very popular
today.
Not,
I'll go with the Constitution. That's what the Constitution. But it's important to note that of all the presidential aspirants at this point in Nigeria election, it's only Atiku Abubakar that has been more visible than all of them combined together. He has released his Atiku plan compared to the next level plan that was plagiarized, and we had them copying things from America and all over the world. And so the Atiku plan is out there. He has done a series of town hall meetings with the CSOs, with the business communities, and with the creative professionals. So he's speaking, all right? Yesterday was an avenue for President Buhari to come to tell Nigerians why he deserves another 4 years, which I think for me it's not something that he deserves, because under his administration Nigeria has performed terribly in all aspects. So what happened yesterday? Atiku Abubakar, the kind of person he is, was able to respect the people that invited him to the party to the debate. He came there and he showed himself, but because he was there to debate the candidate of the presidential candidate, it wasn't a candidate debate, and we have to be sincere with that. It's presidential candidates.
Just before I come back to you, let me quickly introduce Oluwa Sheun Kayode, who joins us from Oshogbo. Thank you for joining us on the program today.
Thank you.
Of course, so quite a lot of water has gone under the bridge. I mean, since the show started, there's been flags for both candidates for not appearing at the presidential debate that was held on Saturday. But let's even look at some of the candidates that were at the debate. Which would you say stood out for you?
I would say Mogad actually stood out. He stood out very fantastically. The other candidates were lackluster. I absolutely have nothing to offer. But if I had to score them, I would score highest than the rest.
Just before we talk about scores, which I would expect that you translate that into a vote. Do you have your PVC?
Yes, I do. I've had it since I've been voting since 2007. I've never missed any election.
Fantastic. So, I mean, there was also, I mean, the furore, so to speak, now, that has been going on social media, even off social media, about the two leading candidates not appearing for reasons that they have actually stated. But at the same time, these two candidates have actually, being President Buhari, we saw him at the debate, at the conversation with Kadri Ahmed, as well as seeing former Vice President Atiku, in town halls and all of that. I mean, did you think that coming to the debate, they would have said anything different than they have said?
Yeah, to be very factual, because this country is in a situation where we have to face the facts and we have to deal with the facts, the real problems. Now, the election is between Buhari and Atiku. There's no time to play textbook politics with the situation we have found ourselves in. So the election actually is between Atiku and Buhari. And I think that both of them, being at the debate yesterday, could have made a lot of difference. A lot of difference, because we have the incumbent president who would actually be expected to share what he has done in the past 4 years and what he intends to do and why he thinks we should re-elect him. And we have the major opponent, the opposition party, who is going to also tell us what he hopes to achieve and how he intends to right the wrongs of the current administration. So, I mean, it's a clear-cut situation, and I think people are being overly emotional about this whole thing and not, facing the real problem. I don't also think the referendum is not on Atiku. I mean, I don't understand how people made the uproar of the debate about Atiku. We have the incumbent president who has refused to show up for the debates. The conversation should be about him, not Atiku. Atiku was there. He was there. So failure to refusal to debate with those other people, I don't think is out of line. I think it's actually pretty realistic.
Let me just ask the other Oluwaseun, of course, Ashiru, who is here in Lagos. There is the school of thought that there is a third force, and the people who actually attended the debate kind of represent that. Don't you think they have a chance? I mean, because one thing that has been said repeatedly here is the fact that the election is between two candidates. But, I mean, so where does the third force stand? Sheun.
Is this my question? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, now, so, I mean, it is fallacy of hasty generalization to say that this election is between Atiku Abubakar and President Muhammad Buhari. Even if their popularity is evident, it is not for anyone to say on national TV that the election is between two parties. I mean, I'm even surprised to hear it from young folks like me. Now, the truth of the matter is that there are other people here. In case you do not know, ideas will rule our world. Even if they are not popular now, their popularity is increasing by the day.
All right.
The PDP man said something like, Atiku Abubakar has been the most seen. If we want to go back that way, Sowore as a candidate has been more visible, has been going to places more than any of the other candidates that I know.
Just hold
so
your...
If you say because you arrange a rally and you gather thousands of people and you think that that's what visibility is, talking to the people directly is even more important. Because we have heard all those things that they are saying at the campaign before.
Just hold it. Just hold it for a second. I will take a quick break, and we'll be back in a moment to continue this discussion. Please stay with us.